Hello and welcome to the STCfit Learning Podcast. I'll be your host today. My name is Jason Galea and I'll be joined by Ben Scott. Thanks for joining us on our way to creating 1 million positive outcomes in personal training by 2030. The podcast is brought to you by STCfit Learning's Coaches Collective, a premium business mentoring service for PTs who want to attract the clients they want, earn a higher income, and have a long, sustainable fitness career. If you enjoy the episode, please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcasting platform. A 5-star review goes a long way to helping us reach more people just like you. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I could feel it. I didn't even need to know.
Woke up at
like
10:30 Sunday.
The hernia just started to fix itself. I was like, Ben must be back.
He's home.
I feel this the weight has just been lifted.
Yeah. I just felt so weird because I was like, I think we had one conversation while I was away.
Yeah. I feel like I did a really good job of leaving you alone.
Yeah, I got the vibe where I was like, even when I'd message you almost socially, it was like, you were sort of in your head like, you're on your honeymoon, fuck off.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk to you. Yeah. The time, it's really tough with the time difference. I didn't realize it was
yeah, it was shit.
Literally that I was like, I could talk to you at 10 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and because we were out too.
Yeah.
So it was we were sleeping in heaps, which didn't help either because we got up later, which meant it was late for you guys. So if we were getting up at 8 a.m, it would have been what's that? It would have been 4 p.m. here. Yeah. And that would have been you could actually have an interaction, but we were getting up at 10.
Yeah. And I secretly left you alone so that when I go away, you leave me alone. So I'm playing chess here. Just playing the long game. It's hey, remember that month holiday and you didn't do much?
Yeah,
I'm doing the same.
I'm doing that too.
I might split mine up over 2 though and do 2-week ones.
Well, this is for your efforts, mate.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries.
I already know what this is, but I'm still going to open it.
Look, I didn't want to ask, but I was like, I have to just in case he has it.
Yeah, this is the one. See, it doesn't even matter that we're no good because of who it is.
Yeah, you have to tell the ear people what's happening.
So Ben just gave me a Manchester United home jersey with Ronaldo on the back. So for the ear people who don't know much about football, Ronaldo is probably the greatest player ever.
Is he GOAT status yet?
Oh, the people that say he's not.
Better than OG Ronaldo?
Yeah. Look, yes, he is in terms of it's in terms of stats, everything, but all those older football enthusiasts will be oh yeah, but Ronaldo from Brazil was before his time and this and that. And it's yeah, but
it doesn't matter.
How do you?
Who was the best?
Yeah. It's how do you gauge who's the best? It's stats are pretty good, and it's he scored the most goals. It's over 800 and something goals in 800 games. Yeah. He's got 5 World Player of the Years. He's won the Champions League, which is the best club competition. He's won that 5 times. He's won the top championship in 4 different countries, I think. Yeah. So it's really hard to top scorer in all of those. Yeah. So it's just really hard to sit there and be you're not the best. It's taken a second tier world national team to a European championship. Yeah. I think they made the semi-finals of the World Cup or something like that. So it's just really hard to say you're not that great. Yeah. And then obviously there's that Messi discussion as well. People oh, but Messi's got 7 World Players of the Year and blah blah. And it's just an amazing player as well. Yeah. But I feel you just want all the other. Yeah. Ronaldo is the man for me. Yeah. It's just he works hard. You can tell he's an absolute fucking savage. Yeah, he's got.
So he broke that kid's hand.
He smashed the kid's phone. Yeah. He's a savage.
Yeah, apparently really hurt his hand when he did it. And he was gonna go for him for money and shit. Yeah, and it's just I don't know. I just think that when you're one of those people where you have to work hard to be the best, you've got to have that mean streak. Yeah. Yeah, and it's I don't agree with smashing people's phones and shit and hurting kids and stuff. But I think the kid was had a disability or something as well, which made it even worse. Yeah. So he you can't justify it, but he wasn't in a good place. Yeah. He'd been hurt, and he was
no, they got flogged.
Off.
They got flogged away.
He was limping too, though, right? He was.
He got butchered that game. like he had fucking battle scars over his legs. Because that's what happens when you're the best and you play football. Everyone runs into you and puts a boot into you just a little bit harder than other players. Yeah. So he's probably used to it week in, week out, just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And then, we got flogged because we're terrible this year. So he obviously phone in the face, like, you shit. And he would have just gone, fuck off, and just smashed it. I love how he just like threw it, stamped on it, and just kept walking. Yeah. It's like, I'll fix this later.
Yeah. I'll buy you 10 phones. I don't give a fuck.
And he's like, it got swept under the carpet pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure he got a check and that was the end of it.
Yeah, it's like he offered to take him to Old Trafford and like, do the whole experience, and his mum was just like, nah. No thanks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She said, no, that's just not good role model status, and that's fine. And I think that, no one's perfect, and then it's like, we forget. No one actually probably realizes all the good stuff that he does.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a bit of a fanboy, so I've tapped into his career and his life a fair bit, and it's like he's put people through school, he's paid for surgeries with people who've had no money, and it's just like it takes a certain type of person to do that, and it's just like. Everyone kind of loses their temper a little bit, and it's like he's a really competitive person.
Especially when you talk about the white line fever, and technically he was like, I guess, just over the white line. He was in the tunnel, but it's like it's still game day, bro.
He wants to win.
Yeah.
And it's no one's probably keeping invested in English Premier League soccer and Manchester United specifically more than me, and it's like we're terrible, and he is an elite sportsman. And he has an elite mentality that no one at our club has, and he wants to win.
Yeah.
And the rest of the guys are just happy to
get paid,
put videos up on TikTok and play Warzone.
Yeah.
And it's and not win. Yeah. And he's just like, super pissed off about it.
So what happened there? I very loosely, not at all, to be honest, follow the soccer. But I thought that it was like a Miami Heat kind of situation.
We were supposed to win the Premier League this year.
Where it was like you got Ronaldo and that was the final.
Well, we came second.
That was getting LeBron to the Heat.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this is it.
Yeah. Well, we came second last year, and we just needed a striker.
Mm-hmm.
So we just needed someone to bang the ball in the net. And so then we've got the best striker ever, who'd already formerly played for the club. So it was like, this is it.
Yeah.
And then I think that obviously just changed the dynamic of how the team was managed. And then the manager lost control of the dressing room, and then they brought in a new manager. And he's just caretaker. So his philosophy is not going to work. Like, you're not going to bring someone in and over half a season try and change the whole philosophy of how a team plays football. So that just turned to shit as well.
Yeah.
So now they brought in another coach for next season.
Fuck. Sounds like the Knicks,
bro. Honestly, like I was very fortunate as a child to watch my favorite team do something that no other sports teams really done.
Because they were it, right? Like 2000s, 90s.
Early 90s,
yeah.
All the way up to probably 2008, 2010. Basically until Sir Alex Ferguson decided to retire, they were the best.
Yeah.
And it was just because he was ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
So he just like instilled fear in his players to the point where it's just like, I don't care how good you are, like you're expendable and we'll replace you.
Yeah.
And he used to do that.
And that's when they had that, like, Beckham was Owen there as well, and all those they once in a generation players.
Yeah, they had a group of players that came up through the youth ranks as a solid unit. So it was about 8 of them, and then gradually, some of them kind of fell off.
Yeah,
but there was like 4 or 5 of them that just were there from start to finish.
Yeah,
or like Beckham moved, but they just got replaced though.
Yeah,
and then the philosophy of the club changed after that, and then they've just gone for quick fixes, bringing in big names, and they're selling shirts and making money, but not putting any trophies in the cabinet. Yeah. So I know for me, it's like I don't really care who plays for the club. It's like if they're not winning, it's like I get annoyed at that shit.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like it's weird how you think that way. Like, because I was like, almost to the point where I was like, next year I'm not buying a jersey.
Yeah,
because I buy one every year. If you look at my my wardrobe, I have like probably 11 different types of Manchester United home and away strips.
Yeah.
And next year I was like, no, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of investing in a club and expecting them to, and it's like, what are you using the money for?
Yeah.
It's like, you're just wasting it on shit players who don't want to play. Yeah. It's like, I was fucking getting salty. Like sometimes on a Saturday. Do you want me to take
that one back?
Nah, this one's good. Sometimes on a Saturday, at least I know this one will be like, it's like, he's good.
Yeah.
So he has a legacy. Yeah. Where it's like I've bought some other players, and it's like, you've been sold in a year.
Yeah.
So but yeah, Saturday nights we get pretty heated. Like I'd be watching the soccer, and Steph would be there. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Let's go to bed." Stayed up till 1 a.m.
For what it's worth, I watched all of about 20 minutes while I was in London.
Yeah.
Just because it was on in the pub.
Yeah, of course.
And the 10-minute section that I watched was him scoring and getting called offside. And then within 2 minutes, he got a penalty and scored. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's cool when you see goals as a mutual, but then it's like, this game's shit. Yeah. It's 0-0. So imagine doing that at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. Because I've had so many arguments with people like overseas online because I get obviously quite heated. If there's one thing I'm going to argue about, it's fucking soccer. And they're just like, oh, you're not even a real fan. And I was like, I paid $7,500 to travel over there and to go and watch a game. And we stay up till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. every week to watch it. Like, would you do that? And it's just dead silence. Yeah. So it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, I got you, bros. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you guys just have it handed to you for like $40 a week.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd go and watch them every week for, $40 a game,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
How you feeling being back?
Mentally, I feel amazing, but I'm still catching up.
Like,
sleep-wise.
I spoke to Brenton and he's like, oh, tell Ben to come have a hit. And I was like, oh, I think he's battling this week. It's like, just give him a week.
I'm keen. I was thinking I'll probably go to the range first just to like dust the cobwebs off because I don't want to go have a game and fucking hate it.
Yeah. It would just be awful.
Yeah, I might just do that. But yes, I haven't slept through yet. So
yeah, I think it takes like an hour. You get an hour. I don't know if it's an hour a day or an hour a week.
Yeah,
like the jet lag.
Yeah,
I think it's an hour a day.
I hope it's a day.
I think it is because I remember
it's a long 3 months.
I remember it's an hour a day. So I remember thinking about it. Like when you go away, you never catch up on the jet lag from when you left, and then when you get home, you never catch up again. Yeah. So you're just like fucking your sleep wake cycle's fucked because your body doesn't know when it's supposed to be awake and when it's supposed to be asleep. So it's just absolutely mental.
On the way over, I nailed it. So we had the first flight was 8 hours. So, and that was daytime there. So it was easy, like stay awake, movies. And then the next flight was 12 or something after the stopover. And that was their nighttime.
Yeah.
So it was just like eat some chemical assistance, a bottle of wine.
Xannies and red wine.
Laters. And so when we got there, we were both pretty sweet. Like we slept okay on the plane.
Yeah.
But coming home, we left the hotel room at 3 a.m. So we're on the back foot from the start. We're just like, I think we'd had like 3 hours sleep that night.
Yeah.
So then it was like, it just didn't.
The big ones, they suck, man. So bad.
Yeah.
And I always think about like, oh, next time I travel, I'm going to do 2 days in Singapore and then I'm going to fly. But it's still
not worth
fucking
it.
10. Yeah, and it's still 10 hours. And then you just, what do? Stay there, eat overnight, look around the place for 1 day and then fly home. Yeah. And that's going to cost you like an extra $4,000 or whatever.
Yeah. I was said to Amy, she's like, oh, we weren't organised enough. We should have stayed a night here. I'm like, yeah, but by the time you actually go and do bag collection and shit,
you waste
then you get to the hotel, you're tired and it's fuck anyway because you've already done, especially from Europe, you've already done fucking 14 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to sleep, then you have to pack and go again. It's like, man.
That's why rich people have business class.
Yeah.
That's first class.
That's what rather than spending the money on staying an extra night, I'd rather upgrade my seats.
Yeah, I haven't looked into like the difference between because I feel like I could do like business
double.
First class is probably not there.
Yeah. We looked at
even business like it might be just a section of the.
We considered it because we were like, oh, like honeymoon, like flight home, why not? And it was double. I was like, that's steep. Like $4,000 to fly home.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot, but
it's a lot until you've been traveling for like 20 hours and then you're like,
I can pay anything. Yeah. Hindsight's always good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like stopping over on a tarmac at 40 degrees, having people bless the plane with no air conditioning. Fucking hell. Just to save $300.
Yeah,
Jesus. Well, fuck that. $300 when you're 21 is probably like $1,000.
It's different. It's a day.
It's $3,000.
Yeah, but it's a whole day as well. Like that's a day's worth I could spend while I'm away. And that's the thing with
it was like a week's wage at 21.
Yeah, fuck. Very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the trip was good, and coming back like super refreshed.
Yep.
Yeah, mentally. I didn't realize how hungover I was from COVID. I put a post up that just like everything since then was like, because we lived in that uncertainty for so long.
Yeah.
And we've talked about like when we get back, the first thing we need to do is everyone get together and just think about like what we're doing, where we're headed.
Yeah.
Because for 2 years it was just like,
Survive.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Like it was just put out this fire, put out this fire, put out this fire, put out this fire. It was the first time I've really got to step back and go like, we're all right now. Like, what is the next 6, 12, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? What does that look like? Because we can actually start planning shit now.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I was really surprised because I thought that I handled it pretty well. Like there was a few times that I was like, pretty down, but felt like as a business, we got through it really well. We're successful.
Yeah.
But I just think like, yeah, it changed some thought processes that I was unaware of.
Yeah.
That was cool to step back and be like, oh, okay, it's different.
Yeah, I think I need to do that. I think I need to go and do something to like that sounding woo-woo, but like find myself again. I feel like I'm different. I don't know how to describe it. I said it to Steph the other day. I said like, I just don't feel the same.
Yeah.
Like I just feel, like you said, it's just like I feel always thinking about like the consequences, always being on high alert, always like, I wouldn't say it's like being negative, but it's like because more shit, I don't know. I feel like the older you get, more shit happens to you. So you start to think about like where I used to be like glass half full kind of dude all the time. Yeah. I'm starting to become like, oh, hang on, this could happen. Yeah. Or this could happen. Or this could happen.
I think we have less fun.
Yeah. 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 Well, and it's funny you say that because I said to Steph, like, I need to go and do something. I don't know what it is. Yeah. But I said, I'm bored. Yeah. And I'm unfulfilled. Yeah. And it's like, work's great. But even then I was like over-analyzing like where things could be better. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, but I don't know what to do next. And I don't know if it's, there's something. And then I said, we need to go away. We need to do whatever. And the last holiday didn't work out. Like, we were so relaxed until that last day. And then the dogs got away. Right, of course, and then, Claire's been injured ever since. Nightmare since, yeah. And she's only really just started to recover. Like, we got our final checkup Friday. So that's, where are we now? We're in May. And that was the first week of January. Yeah. So that's been a 5-month ordeal. And I know people think, oh, it's just a dog, but it's not. Yeah. It's like, it was all hands on deck. Yeah. Thousands of dollars. Yeah. That kind of stuff. So I don't feel like I've kind of had that, just wind down, chill kind of, and it's good that you've gotten to experience other cultures as well, because you can kind of just see how other people are living. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, fuck, it's okay. Yeah. Like, everyone's doing their thing. And, I still feel like there's still this like fear that's still covering, like I can't turn the TV on. I can't log on to Facebook. It's all just fucking fear mongering. Yeah. I'm sick of it.
So because I've been away, I've been like smashing through podcasts, and I normally have like a bank and it's real easy. Yeah. But I've been smashing through them. So I was like, oh fuck, I haven't listened to RX for a while. I'll bang that on. And I had a half listened episode and I put it on, and they just obviously it was a few months ago, and they started talking about vaccines and shit, and I was like, my skin just started to crawl. Yeah. It's like, get this shit fucking off. Like, I don't want to
done with that
hear about this any fucking more. It's like, I literally, and in saying the fear thing, we heard an Australian accent at landing in the Zurich airport and landing in Melbourne. Maybe once the rest of the time. Everywhere. Yep. Did not hear another Aussie at all. Yeah. And like stayed in Earl's Court in London, which is like the Aussie spot. Yeah. And did all the touristy shit, like the most touristy shit you could do, we did it. Did not hear a single Australian.
Yeah, which just seems weird still. Like
everyone's still so scared to go away.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it just seems like there's so many hoops, but it's like now that you've done it, it's kind of good that like you just feel a bit more comforting when other people do it. Like anything,
it's actually so easy.
Yeah, well, it's just buy a ticket, get on a plane, do everything we used to do.
Yeah, like literally to get to Zurich, all you need to do is fill out a separate like Medicare form so you get an international vaccine passport. just it's blue instead of green.
Okay, sure.
And then all you literally do is like show the lady at the counter, and they're like, "Yep, cool.
Yeah,
move on with your life."
Yeah.
When we got to Spain, I think their mask regulations finished the 3rd or 4th day that we were there, but no one was wearing them anyway. So it was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone do your own thing. Even like we went to Gibraltar. So left Spain where people were wearing masks, went to Gibraltar, which is like a 50-meter walk.
Next door.
Yeah. And they're like not wearing masks and everything's sweet. And like we just put 6 people in a taxi to do a tour. I was like, this is fucking so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, hiccup free. I think there's a few places that are tough. Like one of the like check-in chicks was like, "Oh, Singapore." Like, "Oh, it's just a transit." And they're like, "Oh, thank God. So much fucking paperwork for Singapore." I was like,
yeah, right.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think all the countries we went to were pretty sweet. So you probably just got to pick the right ones, but
yeah. Yep. Seemed like you did more sightseeing than relaxing, or did I just not see much of the relaxing?
I think we did one day next to the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. Steph was like, Ben's a sightseer, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can't see him being like lying by the pool kind of dude. So I said, I'm going to go and say he's been walking around doing shit.
Yeah. I'm a nerd, basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah. She's like, he really likes history by the looks of it. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, lots more than us. I'm like, we like the pool.
Yeah. 100%. Like to the point where I was like, particularly in Paris, we were watching documentaries of the evolution of the city. So then when we went places the next day, I was like, "Oh, that's where this happened and this happened."
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a fucking nerd. I don't care.
Yeah, I think the only place I really kind of got hooked on that shit was when we went to Rome.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was just like, this building's like 100 times older than us as a civilization in Australia.
Yeah.
Like this building.
Yeah,
like, and they used to kill each other in here, and everyone used to watch for fun.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and then they put shops in it, and then decided to rip it down, and then said, "Hey, let's not rip it down." And then now they're trying to keep it so it doesn't fall down. Yeah, because it makes them money. It's just absurd. Like,
crazy.
Yeah, when you go there, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a square in Paris. Like you got the Louvre, and then a big garden, and this square. You've probably been there. Have you been to Paris?
No, I didn't go to Paris, yeah. Again, just went to the party destination.
Yeah. It's too far from Greece.
Just went to where it was hot, cheap, and the party was good.
So there's this square that I think within in either a year or 2 years, they beheaded 1,600 people.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And it's like you stand on the spot where the guillotine was. It's like, fuck, this is pretty crazy. Nuts. Yeah. And we went to this pub, and I sent a message to like our family chat. And I was like, "Amy, what do you want for lunch?" "Just a pub is fine." The pub, and just a video of this like fucking immaculate, all brass bars and like stained glass windows and shit. Took a photo of the menu. Was like established in 1827. And then my sister-in-law was like,
cool.
"Oh, aren't there heaps of pubs?" Like what? No, she's replied, "What's wrong with it?" And I was like, "Nothing's wrong with it. It's fucking awesome.
It's amazing."
And she's like, "Oh, isn't there just pubs everywhere?" I'm like, "This pub is like almost 100 years older than Australia."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh," I'm like, that's a thing.
It's almost older than when white people came to Australia.
You got to think like, and I'm again being a nerd. It's like, what was it like when it was built? Who went there? What like evolutions has it gone through? All that kind of shit. It's just like, fuck, this has been around so long. And then you go to everyone shits on the British Museum because it's just like shit that the British stole from everywhere else in the world and they just kept it. Yeah. But it's pretty convenient because you don't have to go all the way around the world to see this
It's just like a one-stop shop, right? Yeah.
And there's shit in there that's like 3,000 years old. Amy didn't understand AD BC.
Yeah.
She didn't understand what it meant. So she's like, "Oh, what's like 1,000 BC?" I was like, "Well, we're in 2020. So BC means 1,000 years before zero.
Yeah.
So it's like temperature. So that means it's 3,000. She was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, it's old as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So everywhere was grouse.
Favorite destination?
Switzerland by far.
Oh yeah, I thought France was taking it because of the coffee.
Yeah.
Cafe style living.
Man.
So
getting a good coffee anywhere except Paris. Yeah. Very challenging.
I can see how that's like. Paris is France and if anyone's French, don't fucking hate on me. They have a very similar culture to Italy. So even the food and everything, like, you know, and I'm not talking about exactly what they eat, but it's like, you know, in the morning it's pastry and an espresso.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you only eat one heavy meal, which is dinner time. And even then dinner's early and, you know, you kind of do all your shit into the evening and stuff. Like so coffee is going to be a really big part of part of their culture. Yeah.
I was surprised. I thought Spain would have good coffee. I thought everywhere would have good coffee machines.
Spain's a fucking letdown.
I didn't like it, man.
It's a fucking letdown. Like I've had the best times there to, like, you know, go out and whatever, but it's like, I don't know, I've been unimpressed by the food. The weather's good.
Yeah, we had good paella, and then like I know everyone's gonna come for me. That's fine. Tapas, man.
Yeah.
They were right.
Yeah, I feel ya.
I think like Switzerland is so heavily influenced by, because you've got German, Italian, and French bordering.
Yeah.
So you go to a restaurant and it's all three. And I think the shit thing about Spain is like you can only eat Spanish food, and France was a bit the same. And like, I know Steph's the same, but like Amy doesn't eat a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
she basically has a 5-year-old palate.
Yeah.
So it was like,
I'll have steak and frites every day.
Yeah, so basically that was like, oh, do they have we were joking. It was like, Amy's just traveling the world trying different carbonaras.
Hey, that's not a bad trip.
Yeah. So it was like the most variety, and then because it's so rich, man, so rich. Like everywhere we went, we saw street sweepers first thing in the morning every day.
Yeah, it's sick.
There was no litter. Everything was perfect. If there was graffiti, it was like art.
Yeah.
It wasn't tags.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, everything was immaculate.
Yeah, it's cool.
But fuck, like, basic dinner and a drink is like $150, $160. It was like literally, we just said at the start of the week, was just like, we just can't look.
Yeah,
we just have to accept what happens at the end of the week and deal with it, and it's going to come out of the shopping budget and just do what needs to be done, because I don't want to be like counting pennies the whole time we're there.
Yeah.
But I think we were there for like 4.5 days. We would have spent $2,000 on food.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. But it was all
great. Was the food good though?
It was all great. Yeah.
So that's the difference. Like when I went to Waikiki in Hawaii, it was like food was fucking ridiculously expensive. Like it was like, you know, $11 for a latte every morning.
Yeah.
Because the only place that I had a good lattes was $11, and I was like, well, pay $5 for a shit coffee,
or have a real one,
a real one. And then but every meal was shit. So you're paying $100 US, and you got to tip them, and like, I just don't really understand the concept of tipping someone.
Yeah.
Because
just pay staff properly, you fuckers.
Either pay your staff properly or do something that
impresses
is like,
me.
Yeah. Well, it's like I don't need you to do a magic trick or something. Like, hey, you know, watch this, and you know. But it's like, just go out of your way to make the service, you know, something different than what normal is. And it's like, yeah, cool. Like, I'll give you a tip.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh no, you have to. And I'm like, what do you mean I have to? It's like all you did was walk the food over and gave it to me.
Yeah,
it's your
you
fucking
weren't even
job.
that nice. Yeah.
It's your job. Like, why do I tip you for your job? You're getting paid for your job, right?
Yeah.
So then it's
but that's it, they're not.
Yeah, that's such a stupid concept.
Yeah.
So then it's like, you've got to tip them because you feel sorry for them and shit.
America's fucked. Like, the price on the ticket isn't the price.
No, because it's got tax. And every state has a different tax. I remember I bought this like slice of cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory, and I had the exact amount of money in coins.
Yeah.
And then they said it will be more, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And they're like, this tax, then this tax, and I was like, I hate this place.
Yeah.
I hate it. So then I had to use my card, had all these fucking coins, gave it to some homeless dude.
Yeah.
I was kind of paying it forward, I guess, a little bit.
You can't afford a cheesecake, sorry, bro.
Yeah. Gonna have to like ask someone else who's coming out with coins. Like, here you go.
Another couple of bucks.
Yeah, shit like that annoys me. But then it's like, I think, you know, talking about the benefits of traveling, and one of the things that I really like need, which is why we'll probably go away soon, is... Hey guys, hope you are enjoying this week's episode. If you are, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to head to the website where we have all our free resources, gifts, products, services, and merch for you guys to enjoy. All right, let's head back to the episode. The need for like to experience other culture, because I feel like that's part of the reason why you feel so relaxed now too, is like when you go away, you see how other people live, and like sometimes like it can really level you because you're like, fuck, life's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of just see how like other people like just get by without the rat race of life. Like I feel like we live in like a really fast paced society. Like, you know, we go to the shops, if someone like doesn't give something to you straight away, you get a little bit anxious, like, you know, a little bit shitty, and you're just like, no, I need that right now. And then you go to other places and everyone's just really cool to wait 10, 15 minutes and, you know, be real chilled, and like they're not, you know, walking up behind you on the footpath and like, you know, get out of the way and driving in the right hand lane and like, you know, flipping the headlights at people, like, because we just live in such a like, you know, if it's going to take 20 minutes to get there, if it takes 21, I'm late, you know. And I think that's part of what kind of brings you down as well, like just from like a like an anxiety and a stress perspective. Is like we just live so quick, and going away allows you to like, you know, you obviously work on your own time, but then see how other people kind of live, and you're like, okay, cool. We kind of, one, we have it good at home, and two, like we actually don't have to live this way.
Yeah, there's like a few things that stood out, and that was one of them. Is that just like my life at home is so fucking good. Yeah, like it's pretty good. We work from home, so both me and my wife. So it's like we wake up, I go do my morning stuff, she does her morning stuff. We have lunch together. We go separate ways again. Come back and have dinner. Like I can walk my dog whenever I want. I can train whenever I want. Like even just like the setup of like how good my bed is, how good my pillow is, like just little shit like that, and like
how soft your toy is to sleep with.
Yeah, how good my Stitch is to cuddle, how good the food is that we have on tap all the time. Like all of that stuff, I was just like, fuck, my life at home, like traveling the way I traveled when I was like, if I'd have done that when I was 25, it would have been better than what I lived at home. Yeah. Now it's like, life's so fucking good at home. Like just actually take some stock of that and think how cool that is. Yeah. Because we were like, oh fuck, if we had a 2-bedroom with a kitchen, we could happily never come home. Yeah. But like being in a hotel room and not being able to cook and not having like shit on demand when we wanted it, like you were saying, was like, nah, I'm not like, this is done.
Yeah, you don't want to you don't want to get caught in the holiday hype, and then it's just like we'll talk about like the healthcare thing. It's like, you know, get sick and try and do the things that you do at home. Yeah. It's like if you can't do those overseas, then, or the things you like to do, obviously, then that's when you kind of might make a bit of a mistake. You decide to move overseas, you know.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue was the 2 places we stayed had shit breakfast. Yeah. And that just kind of fucked. It's like, because the first thing you have to do is get up and find a cafe.
For the first meal of the day, it's so fucked. That's the easiest meal.
Yeah, and it was like the hotel, the breakfast was terrible. So it was like, I'll just have yogurt and muesli, which is what I would have bought if I was buying it and putting it in my room if I had a fridge. Yeah. But I'm not paying £11 for it.
Yeah, no.
I'm paying $22 for fucking oats.
Yeah. I have a thing where like if I know that ingredients are cheap, I can't buy it. Yeah. Like I don't know if maybe you ordered oats one morning when we went out. Probably. And I was like, I fucking despise you right now. Like that's something you could put in.
They do it better than me.
Add a quarter cup of water and put it in the fucking microwave for 2 minutes, bro. It's like you just pay $20 for that. It's like if I go out, I want something that like I want some like rosti and like you know I want hollandaise sauce because I can't make it. It's like I want the shit that like I'm not gonna be able to cook.
I don't really like breakfast food though. Yeah. So like a porridge out that has like fruit that I wouldn't put in it that's made obviously with way more sugar than I would ever make.
Way more care as well.
Probably some cream or some shit. This is like, this is better.
Some milk in the oats instead of water.
Yeah, this is elite. But I think coming home for us, the reflection that I had was like for you and I and the whole team, it's like we need to have more fun with what we do. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that COVID probably took away. Yeah. Like when we came into a meeting, it was like, what's wrong this week?
Yeah, what fire are we putting in?
Yeah. Whereas, like even we used to do like what's the best thing that happened this week, or what are you grateful for, or whatever, like that stuff at the start of the meeting just to get things going. Because like we're doing well. Like let's actually have some fun with it and enjoy stuff. And I know like when we do the podcast and that kind of stuff, they're probably the highlights of the week. It's like we just get to talk shit and have fun, and like now we're training and filming and all of that. Yeah. Traveling, I think we need to just do more of that. But also like the grunt work writing content, all of that kind of shit, I think we need to just step back a little bit and go like, I'm writing about stuff that I really like. I like talking about this, and it's going to help people. I like helping people, and I'm seeing all these people get the results because they're consuming this content. This is actually pretty cool. And I think the other thing that I learnt was, like, I don't know, maybe it was different from your point of view, but I was away for 4 weeks and nothing exploded.
For once.
So I think that was a lesson for me. It was like, I was probably in a trap where it was like, everything has to be done yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm guilty of the fucking 5 things in the high priority list. That means none of them are high priorities.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, I can actually just concentrate on one thing and do it really well and get it done.
Yeah.
I don't have to try and do 400 things at the same time and be stressed and not get anything done well.
Yeah. Yeah, we're guilty of that.
So yeah.
Taking off too much.
Yeah, I think they were probably the main, to bring back, they were the main things that I sort of...
Well, yeah, it wasn't bad with you away or anything. Like, you know, we got shit done. We made some decisions. You know, I just felt like I had to be available more. Like, and I think that because I knew I had to be available more, like my shit didn't get it done.
Yep.
No, my extra shit didn't get done.
Yep.
You know, it was like, I just had to like spend a fair bit of time zooming out and being like, okay, who this person these guys need to be taken care of. And, you know, I need to make sure she's being taken care of because she's taking care of them. Yeah. You know, Tam's got knows exactly what he's doing. Like, rather than me just kind of looking at what I needed to do and talking to you, I had to sit back and be like, okay, I need to make sure everyone's all
move
good.
All the puzzle pieces.
Yeah, and just keep it as it is, as it was. Like, it wasn't really like a how do I make this better kind of situation.
The mid-episode ad is great, by the way. I listened to the STCfit episode this morning. I was like, oh, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, we came in one day. And
you didn't say subscribe, you dogs, though. I was looking forward to that. Is that a different one?
Yeah, nah, that was in the shorts.
we have that. I just haven't used
it. Okay.
Yeah. I think I said it
Let's
about
use that this
40
episode.
times. I think I said it about 40 times in about 2 minutes in front of Tam. It's a lot of bloopers on that. On that stuff. Yeah, we came in and I was like, let's do all this. And I was like, actually, you know what? Fuck it. And we just changed everything. It was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, so, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, it's good. But I think it's important to, like, we always talk about it. It's like there's always times when there's, you know, you push pedal to the metal, and then there's times when you just got to consolidate. I think like we're probably in that situation at the moment where there's a few things we kind of just need to consolidate on and go, right, let's just make sure the roots are in the ground now.
Yeah.
Review some shit, and then we'll take all the new stuff.
Yeah.
Rather just being always in that situation of like trying to take more.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes better is better than more.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just refining things rather than trying to have
100%.
more shit all the time.
Yeah. And like, you know, we get lost in the, because we're always, I think we just push for more naturally. Like, you know, because how do I put this? Because I didn't think I would be in this situation now. You know, like I thought that I was only going to be working at home for 3 months. Yeah. And I thought I'd be in the gym.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd be, you know, doing, would be working at the gym, not at my house. I think that sometimes like we haven't moved.
Yeah.
And then I sit back and I'm like, oh no, like we always have shit.
Yeah.
We kind of have evolved, which is good.
Definitely. Yeah.
But sometimes it's important to sit back and just like, you know, have a look at what you're doing now and where you've come from.
Yeah.
Because that really starts to kind of bring you down and ground you again. And then like talking about gratitude and shit, like it's important to have gratitude, but about real things. You know, don't go looking for shit. Yeah. You know, like, oh, I'm grateful that I have fucking hot water. It's like, no, we live in fucking Australia. Like, that's not something to be grateful for. You've had it for fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, you know, be grateful for the lifestyle that you have and like the fact that you can help people and you know, the fact that you've got like a good team to work with and, you know, you get good results and that makes you fulfilled and it sits in line with your values. Like, talk about shit like that. Like, that's something that I have lent on because like things haven't gone to plan.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, well, rather than thinking about the fact that like, you know, we were so close to opening the gym and we were so close to like, you know, I guess ticking all the boxes on the vision board and, you know, life, what could have, would have, you know, been. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, let's look at where we've come from and what we actually get to do on a regular basis that is fulfilling and rewarding. And then I think, like you said, it's just like we need to have more fun. I agree with that. Like even just trying to have fun, like I can tell I'm trying to search for it. That's why I'm playing golf so much. Yeah, and that's why, like I said the other day, I'm like, maybe I'll try strongman. Maybe I'll try something. Like I just want to
have a chat about that in a moment.
Yeah,
I just come back to that.
Yeah, I just want to try fun shit.
Yeah,
I just want to like have a hobby. Like I like to work out, but I want to find something that's fun as well. And just like, even if it is just like go in and do it and leave and and do it every now and then, or go try something like, you know, like over in American stuff, how you can do those like tactical weekends and shit. Yeah. It's like, I'm fucking in if we can find something like that to do.
Send suggestions, guys. Fun shit we can
hooning around in one of those like ATV cars on the tracks and shit.
Maybe we should buy a race car.
Yeah, but then we have to race the same car every weekend. What I'm trying to say is like we can do different shit.
Nah, well, I have a connection that we might be able to just pay to jump in and
I'm in. Right. Yeah, I think there's like so my brother did a thing where like you buy a car and you have a budget.
Yeah, the lemon race.
Yeah.
So, we spoke about that, doing it.
Yeah, because my brother works at an auction place and I think they sponsor the event, or they used to, or something, and they did it, or
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so like that would be fun as fuck.
We need to do that.
Like you buy a car, I think you got like $5,000.
Yeah,
and it's like that's
and you're only allowed to do certain mods.
Yeah, and that's all you get. Yeah. So if it breaks down, you've got to fucking fix it. Yeah, so that'd be fun. Like just shit like that. Like I don't know.
And if Dad crashes it, we'll bash him.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think if we can add that element on top of work, kind of like,
I think it's both. I think it's making work more fun and just remembering to enjoy So we got to London, and I went into a Vodafone in the middle of Earl's Court, like just next to Earl's Court station. So it's fucking hectic. Sirens, trucks, fucking all this shit going out the front. Doors were open. There was scaffolding over the front, so like dimly lit, all fluoro lights. Walked in, no music, no nothing in the store. 3 people. One of them was like half asleep on the desk. The other one was like arguing with customer support about something. And then the dude that served us was the most boring human being I've ever spoken to in my fucking life. And it took him 20 minutes to do 2 SIM cards. And I walked out and I was like, fuck, I love my job.
Yep.
Because the thought of that, because I was sitting there, I was like, I wonder if he gets commission on this. I wonder like what he gets out of this day. Like, is there anything that he leaves today with that he's like excited? Like I tried to talk to him. It's just fucking nothing. I was just like, you just fucking hate your life right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we take a little bit of stock of how good you have shit.
Yeah.
Because people live like this every fucking day. And like, no disrespect to people in retail. If you enjoy it, good on you. But
means to an end, it's fine as well.
Fuck, man. The thought of doing that churns my stomach.
Yeah. I think getting caught up in the pursuit of more, which is the pursuit of excellence to a degree, you can lose sight of like just what you have.
Yeah.
You know, and where you've come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely can vouch for that. I've kind of fell into that trap recently. So it's important to, whether it's a holiday or even just, I think reflection on a weekly basis and then some downtime.
Yeah.
I think you just got to get that right.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm a little bit overdue for some downtime, but.
Yeah. I think that fun element's important. Like even with golf, like I deliberately have not watched a single YouTube video, have not done a lesson. I just refuse. Yeah. Because I'm like, I know if I touch that button, I'll touch the button. I just want to be able to go out and talk shit with you boys and not be shit. And that's fine. So yeah, I get that.
But you don't want to be shit.
Yeah, I just want to be good enough that it's like,
I'm the same.
I can play with.
You just want to go out and not be frustrated. You don't want to have a bad time when you play. When you play shit.
Which is basically, if I have to search for my ball every hole, I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
So it's like, just be good enough to hit it somewhere in the vicinity of the fairway and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think...
can't wait to play you next. I'm going to smash it.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. If I come back and beat you, or worse, beat Brenton, I'm going to fucking let him have it.
I'm going to destroy you. That's the plan.
So yeah, I think the other thing we touched on before we rolled the camera was just like, the other thing I realized was just I'm being careful on how I word it because I don't want to be like disrespectful about it. But I think people put the idea of being the nomad PT on this like impossible pedestal, and it's like, fuck, you've fucking made it when you can do that.
Yep.
And I think it's actually just very, very, very achievable.
Yeah.
Like it's actually not that challenging. If it's simple, but it's not easy is the best way to put it.
Of course. I think you still got to possess the same mindset. You know, you got to be very structured, and you got to be, you know, obviously communication, I think, is the one thing. Like if you looked at like where the red flags could be, it's just like the time difference, making sure people get what they need. And then it's just like, all you need is an internet connection, and you need a schedule so you show up. And
that'll be it. And I think if you were going to do it, you'd need to put in #standoutpt 6 months of like building all the shit we talk about all the time, like that 5S method of making sure you know who you work with, you've got a good service in place that services those, you've got an ecosystem of content and resources, both, so like for prospects and for the client, because again, time differences and stuff, like you're not going to be able to be messaging them all day and booking in Zoom calls and shit all the time. You're going to need to be able to have shit to give them that are going to solve most of the problems that you're going to encounter most of the time. So that might take 6 months of like true application to build that.
Yep.
And then if you're at a place where it's like, I can put on a client a week when I want to, I think it's actually pretty straightforward. And realistically, like you could have, if that's all you were doing, 40, even 50 online clients pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
You're talking $2,500, $3,000.
Yeah.
It's
traveling.
pretty fucking easy to live on that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Anywhere, really.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Switzerland.
Need 100 clients.
Yeah, you can live in a cupboard in Switzerland for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like if you can work anywhere with an internet connection now, you can do that. And that's in your country.
Yeah.
As I said, because we're obviously still trying to move. So we haven't found anything yet, as you guys would know.
Any houses in Gisborne yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't know. I'm getting pretty desperate, so you never know. That might change. But then, obviously travel to work is the discussion point for Steph, right?
Yeah.
Because teachers can't just transfer and then just magically be, around the corner from their house. But then I just keep saying, I just need an internet connection.
Yeah.
So if you just say that, like you can travel wherever you like. You don't have to be, I guess like bound to where you live or where you grew up or, just like the state that you live in at the moment or whatever. You can literally like
just pick up and go.
If I want to go and live here and do that, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that if you master the art of showing up and you do that everywhere you are, and you know exactly where to show up as well. You're not just like, I guess what they call them, like a busy idiot.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh, I have to do shit, but I'm just doing shit for the sake of doing shit.
Yeah.
So if you get the best return on your time, you can make it anyway.
Yeah.
And realistically, it's only like 3 days of work.
Yeah.
Like it's 3 days of work, maybe 4, depending on how much content you put out. But it's like servicing your clients directly. Yeah. It's like that should be maybe 2 days. And then the other 2 days should be spent on your business. And then you got 3 days where you just literally...
Yeah.
And even the days themselves, it's like they're still very...
You probably finish in...
Yeah, they're slow paced.
Midday.
Yeah, it's like probably not an alarm in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wake up when you feel like it kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I said it to, one of my clients. And I'm like, because they're competing. And I said something about like, are you going to be able to kind of, because the steps have gone up probably 2,000-3,000 a day. And I'm like, you're going to be able to get that extra like 45 minutes in? And they're like, I don't have an alarm in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got this.
No problems.
Yeah.
It's just shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'd be a hard transition for people. And like, I think this is that new wave of like how you earn a living. Like how it's probably easier now for us to explain what we do, or how we do it. Sorry.
Yeah, COVID made that easier.
Yeah. Or even then, like people still think like, hey, are you like jumping in front of a screen and shit doing fucking startups? Like, no, man. Like, it's not how it works. But people are still like, so because people are understanding that, you can make money selling digital pictures on the internet now. You can trade currencies that you can't physically touch, and that's a job as well. As like day trading, you can, make funny videos on the internet that go for like a minute, and thousands of people watch them, and people pay you for ads and stuff. So there's all these non-traditional ways of earning a living now. So for you to say like, hey, I just like, log on my laptop, service my, demographic in my client base, which in whatever industry that is, like that's starting to become normal. People are moving to rural areas, being able to kind of keep their jobs and stuff. So the way we kind of put food on the table and earn our bread is starting to change, for the better, really.
One thing that stood out, I think, though, which I was aware of, and I've been curious to investigate a little bit more, is like us having a team, I find so valuable. And I've always wondered, like, with the guys, and I need to think this through before it ever actually becomes a piece of content. This is an open brainstorm to get your thoughts on it as well on a podcast. It's like the value that comes with having a business partner of some description.
Yeah.
Just for like accountability, for I don't know, I just like the idea that we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
And like being away and feeling disconnected from that was kind of like, oh, this is like, I couldn't just train people.
Yeah.
When I put the post up, I was like, I would be super unfulfilled just coaching people and living abroad and stuff. Like, maybe when I was younger, but now I'm like, I need something more than that. I want the connection. I want to grow with the people around me. I want to be around those people all the time. And I just wonder how much, because most people are sole traders. But then I look at like, there's a lot of really successful brands that have at least two.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's hard because I don't really remember what things were like when I was on my own. And I think because I never got exposed to like what life could be like when, like, I didn't know what opportunities and what I was capable of when I was training by myself. Like, I was just a good PT.
Yeah.
And that's all I told myself that I was going to be because that's all I knew.
Yeah.
And then you were like, no, this is all, we can do so much more, which was good. It was good to have someone with like that vision to be like, no, you're not going to be training people when you're 50 years old in the gym.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hang on a minute. He's right. You know, and then things just evolved. Like even just little things. Like I remember, like just with the cars.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we have those? And you were like, yeah. So I was like, fuck it, sweet. Yeah. So I went out and got myself my first Merc. And it was just little things like that that I think are really valuable. And then I think if you have a business partner or business partners that complement each other, I think that's the best. Like, I don't know if it would work really well if you and I were the same person. Yeah. Like, let's just say for argument's sake, like we're both yes people and, we both just agree and say the same shit and, we're just blowing smoke up each other's asses. Yeah. And, it's like this narcissistic kind of drive, like we're getting this narcissistic drive from our business and stuff because we're, showing ourselves off and stuff. Like, I don't know if things would really work out, but it's like we kind of complement each other, like the three of us really well. And I think that that's part of like why, moving with a group of people is really advantageous because, we all look at the world differently. And there's always something that like either you or me or Michael or even the rest of the guys, like, are just like, what about this? Or have you thought about that? And that's where you can kind of just start to like fill the holes a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I look at because obviously we just had the new guys come on and I look at that and just think, how much would we have been able to fast track being part of the kind of team that we have now when we started and the different thought processes and stuff. And like we've had a few people that have gone on from working with us as well that have like fucking killing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not taking credit for it, but I think the environment is so conducive to being able to do that as well. And I just wonder like how much value is there in teaming up with someone if you can, like you said, fill those gaps.
Yeah, I think it's huge. Like it's good to be accountable to somebody. It's good to have someone sometimes like, be able to call you on your bullshit and it's not ever in an aggressive manner. It's just like, hey, let's, maybe have a chat and have a meeting, catch up, and just see where we're going.
Yeah.
Because there's been times where we've just kind of treaded water and it's like, hey, we've treaded water for too long now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling uneasy.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I don't know what's going on. Bring me back into the business.
Yeah.
And let's get some, and then let's catch up and get some direction, so I think there's real value in that. And then I think that if you have a good decision-making process and you all agree on the decision-making process, that when there comes a time when you guys do something and one person doesn't agree, you guys agreed on the process to make decisions, and you have to just go for live or die with that. Not get butthurt that if someone's making, the decision-making process says you can't do what you want to do because the greater good of the business says this. It's like you guys all agree that that's how you make decisions if we kind of come at loggerheads. So I think that once it's funny, for something to work well, you have to decide how the worst case scenarios work first.
100%. Work backwards from there.
Yeah. And it's the same with clients. It's like, let's go to the terms and conditions and the roles and responsibilities first.
Yeah.
So we understand where we stand when these things happen.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they never happen because you know where the boundaries are.
Yeah.
So you're never trying to push them. So you never have to have those awkward conversations. And it's the same with us. It's like, okay, this is how decisions get made. This is how this gets made. This is how this gets addressed. I think we've had maybe 2 situations where we've sat there and things have gotten a bit heated. And then it's like nothing that hasn't, kind of worn off over the next 1 to 2 days. So I think that if you can do that, that's fine. Relationships break down when people aren't on the same page or when those conversations haven't been said at the start. Yeah. And that's where the fractures start to appear.
And you're not willing to communicate.
Yeah.
That's where it all breaks down.
And you got to just put your big boy pants on. I think, especially when you get emotional. Like, I think that's how it's like, you just got to go off. Like, there's times that you've gotten heated. There's times that I've gotten heated. And it's like, okay, I'm going to walk away, cool down, and come back.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you might not even have to sit there and say, sorry and rah. It's like, we're all grown ups. It's like, we can just pick up and keep moving forward if we need to.
Yeah.
Or we need to address it if it's gone too far. Yeah. I think that you have to be super mature to work with somebody else.
Yeah. I think, thinking this through as we talk about it, we never set out to do this.
Nah.
When we started working together, it was just like, you were training me. We had some overlapping clients and obviously overlapping theories in terms of training. We were interested in the same education. So it was like, oh, let's collab on this. Let's collab on that. And it just worked. And then after probably, a year, 2 years doing that, then it was like, hey, maybe we should do a thing.
Yeah.
And then it evolved and obviously grew and grew and grew. So I think maybe at least the message is for a PT who's on the up, like, we talk to our guys about like running seminars and stuff all the time. Leverage someone else that's good. Yeah. Leverage someone else that you connect with, because then you get both of your sets of clients there.
Yeah.
So there's more bums on seats, and then you learn more, and they do something, and you're like, oh fuck, that's pretty good, and you learn from them, and then you don't have to end up in a business together.
Yeah.
But I think seeking out other people to do collabs with, like we brought obviously Benny, who was on the podcast a few weeks ago, brought him into our course to present, went through the course himself in Standout PT.
Yep.
And we were like, well, fuck, I got to talk about mindset to Ben. I got to rewrite this part.
Yeah.
Oh, this part needs to be better. Because it's like, well, he thinks a different way and he goes to another standard, another level. So we've got to make sure when that person's in the room that it ticks all the boxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe that is the thing, is just make sure that you're not just in your own bubble all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think it'd be really restrictive.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't want to be a big fish in a small pond all the time. Like that's just going to stunt your growth and development. Like, like people say you should be the dumbest person in the room. That's a really cool lesson to have, but sometimes you should be the smartest as well.
Yeah.
Especially for us.
It's hard to be the dumbest all the time.
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's not rewarding all the time either. Like sometimes, I mean, if you're trying to lead, you have to be the smartest person sometimes too, because that's how the dumbest person learns.
Yeah.
From you.
From someone, yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same. It's like, you don't want to be the big fish in the small pond all the time, because like, I think that there's a little bit of growth and development that you miss out on, because you turn into your group turns into a bunch of yes people, and you don't really get to reflect, and you don't get your boundaries challenged and stuff just because no one's there to challenge you. So it's kind of the reverse of being that dumbest person in the room. You kind of need to be the small fish sometimes, or you need to bring someone in who's maybe horizontal to you. So you can bounce ideas off you and stuff like that. Like that's a really valuable thing too, because some people have thoughts and feelings and ideas that you would never even think of. And you're like, I like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make that work for us with our culture and, you know, maybe our systems and our service and stuff like that. And so, you don't necessarily have to bring someone in, like Ben said, but getting people into your business, even from a collaborative perspective, something we missed the boat on early. And
because we hated everyone.
But it was like
we didn't have access to them early.
It was access, and it was like we needed to do everything ourselves. You know, like we needed to, you know, make sure we had everything, and everything had to be in house. And now we're trying to get those collaborations and the networking and the partnerships and stuff into the business, because that's something that we've identified that's quite valuable that we're lacking a little bit, or we were lacking. Which we've done a great job this year, especially. Just with the 1% and all the guys we've got in the programs, and like I said, bringing Benny in, and even just conversations and stuff that we have with people. You know, I think that we've done a really good job in a short period of time of like, hey, this is a problem. How do we fix it? You know,
because really, what it's been 6 months.
That's 6-8 months
since we decided like we need
more people,
other people to be involved in what we're doing. And now we've got 7 of them. And they're all arguably some of the best in the country, if not the world, at what they do. So See, we should reflect more on the good shit that we do.
I feel much better. I feel much better with you being home, and then I just feel much better after this conversation. So there you go.
So you guys just got to. We haven't spoken.
We just had a cancelling session
since we got back, so you guys got to witness it all live.
That was actually really good.
Very nice. Good. We're going to cuddle, so we're going to turn the cameras off.
I haven't had any physical contact with Ben over a month. It's tough.
So yeah, like, subscribe, screenshot your dogs. Website is www.stcfitlearning.com. You'll find all our programs, resources, free shit, the scorecard, so you can have a look how your business is in comparison to what we believe to be an elite business.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to the Ear People, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Thanks for tuning into the episode. Don't forget to like it if you liked it, and subscribe if you loved it, and share it with somebody who you think needs to hear it. Don't forget also to head to the website for all our free resources, products, services, and merch. All right, see you next time.